I can't tell. I wish we weren't friends.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
Okay, we've reached the dog days of summer isn't right. Like this is the most depressing days of summer maybe ever.
Yeah, usually the summer gets depressing right after the 4th of July, but like mainly for summer's ending reasons, this is just like summer has been shitty.
I don't understand how this summer has happened so far. Like I thought about this summer so much, not in terms of like I'm going to take this vacation or I'm going to do these things. Like literally the bar is so low.
I'm going to live life.
I am going to go outside, and if I get up and I have coffee on my front steps, which is a thing I like to do, maybe it's just like the area in which I live. I live in a place where you'll find like a lot of people sitting on their front steps having coffee and kind of people watching. I'm not people watching. I'm usually listening to music, just having coffee. But here's the thing. Last summer, that's kind of where the party had to end. You go outside, have coffee on your front steps, and you're like, back inside. Got the central AC, so at least that's good. But this was going to be...
That was like your prison yard time.
And I was thinking, I'm like, don't make prison comparisons, because I think that's a thing. That's something that like maybe 5 years ago people would do and then not think like, okay, maybe don't compare things to prison.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was prison, but like that was your outside time.
Sure. You could say it's like elementary school.
Yeah, it was your recess.
All right, now let me make a prison reference. If you're not in Massachusetts or New England, this is the 13th day of July, and I learned yesterday on the 12th day of July that for the first time ever, there was measurable rain in 11 of the first 12 days of July. I understand that's a very specific statistic, but I'll say it again so you can follow it. For 11 of the first 12 days of July in Massachusetts, there was measurable rain, which means it's been rainy all July. So 4th of July, people had to kind of cut corners and not have like a great outdoor fun thing. And if you want to go outside for a run, for a walk, to like, God forbid, see people, it's just like kind of murky and you're doing the best you can with the weather. I feel like 5 years ago I wouldn't care about that because I'd be like, it's summer. I'm always depressed in the summer. Who cares? But after last year, after that pandemic, and here's where I don't take this as a prison comparison will come in. It feels like when Andy's in the hole in Shawshank and the warden checks on him after, I think, a month, right? He gives him a month in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
You remember what he says?
I don't remember, but I remember how it ends.
He says like, have you thought about it? Whatever he's supposed to think about, and he's like, he's thought about it. Let's give him another month to think some more, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, dude, warden, you're horrible. Granted, people don't understand that Andy didn't kill his wife. Spoilers if you haven't seen Shawshank Redemption. I feel like that's
a pretty good movie. You should check it out.
Movie we somehow possibly have never spoken about. But we've both seen it.
People probably just assume that it's a good old movie,
So we haven't
they
seen
haven't
it.
seen it.
Right. So the cat's out of the bag. We saw Shawshank this week. We're really hot on it. But like the analogy I'm making obviously is like, you think something is finally done. Like
got
a
the light at the end
summer
of the tunnel.
being stuck inside, and then this summer comes and it's like, nah, you're probably going to want to be inside a lot because it's either rainy or the weather just kind of sucks. And I get the blues in the summer anyway, but this sucks. This is really, really horrible. I hate it.
Yeah, and like one of the depressing things that I already found out this summer was that mowing the lawn gives me a lot of joy. It's like very therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy doing it.
It's a task.
Yeah, and I've just haven't been able to do it for 2 weeks because it hasn't stopped raining for 2 weeks. So
Man.
I usually get depressed when it's like when it's this shitty and gloomy and like it's just very fucking, it's just such a downer. But like on top of that, not getting to do a lame thing that brings me joy is very, very, very much an extra downer.
it's not even like this was supposed to be the summer of George, because I think that anybody who is planning their summer of George this summer is like relax, baby steps. We were just locked in for
That
so long.
that and I feel like it's impossible to have a summer of George or a summer of blank
Yeah.
because you're overdue on so much shit and people have been putting off so much
Yes.
shit that like I have like 2 weekends free for the rest of the summer because I've got weddings and like backloaded events that people have been putting off.
Same. I feel so fortunate to have to check my calendar and even know if somebody says, "Hey, let's do this weekend." Like I know what the days of the week are. I feel like through September, and that's not to say like I'm the busiest person in the world, but like I've like had to make plans and have events and things. Like when Phoebe Bridgers announced her tour, and it was like Boston, September 26th. I was like, damn, that's a Sunday. I think I'm doing like whatever on this day. And the rain, I can't take the rain. We
The rain has broken us.
I am broken by the rain. We do a thing.
Oh, does that exist?
The
Is
rain
that a thing
is
in
broken.
pop culture? No,
What?
like broken by the rain.
That
That sounds like the name of a hit song.
there's a lot of like have you ever seen the rain, like blank the rain, blame it on the rain. There's a lot of rain things, but
Broken by the Rain seems
Broken
like
by
a pretty
the
fucking
Rain.
awesome name of something iconic pop culture.
at the very least we'll make it the name of this episode.
That's right.
And people will have to talk about it like it's an iconic thing. Cuz be like, "Oh, listen to Brunch, these two guys, they've been doing it for a while. Which episode should I start with?" Well, you've probably actually already heard Have you heard Broken by the Rain? You haven't heard that episode of their podcast? It's going to be a thing where you put it on, then you're going to be like, "Oh, this is Broken by the Rain."
Even if you don't
I
listen
know
to
this."
Brunch, you know Broken by the Rain.
Right, exactly. It's like when people, like when I was younger, I got a Billy Joel Greatest Hits CD, and I was like, I know every Billy Joel song. I know all these things, and I just thought, I never thought, oh, who sings for the longest time? It's just a song you'd hear on the radio, and you're like, whatever, that's a good song, and move on. But then you see, oh, this is what that is.
Mhm.
When new fans check out Brunch and they see Broken by the Rain, they're gonna be very intrigued by it, and I think it would fit within the Brunch experience if we don't throw a particularly good one this episode.
No, yeah.
If they're like Broken by the Rain,
That is like their classic
The
mediocre
seminal-
episode.
the seminal Brunch episode is Broken by the Rain, and they check it out. It's like, hey, I have depression. I say that on every episode. Like, oh yeah, it stinks. Hey, do you know that I'm gonna give this stat about Massachusetts rain twice? You got it? Yep, we both got it. Why don't things have rain in the title?
Check
Well,
out-
they do. A lot of like November rain.
Check out this iconic podcast episode, and it's just two white guys being like, "How about this weather, huh?"
Dude, so at work we do a thing called at the end of the show, what's bugging you, and it's just like a little what's grind your gears. If you got something that's bugging you, you throw it out there. And I, for like 2 weeks to a calendar year, have been rolling my eyes at people crying about the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're like, oh, they're over the cap. They're literally not over the cap. They
Mhm.
did they maybe moved some. They maybe got some fortunate timing with their injuries. We'll say,
Might have been some circumvention.
right, a little circumvration, but they didn't.
Circumcision of the cap.
I forget. Did you do? Were you a big Arrested Development guy?
No,
So
I
Job,
did like the first episode and a half.
cool. And then like the classics. Like the
I
classic
did the first like
jokes.
season and a half.
Okay.
Up until Fuck Mountain.
So Job,
And I was like, can't get better than this.
Job really struggles with the English language. He struggles with articles. He'll like one of his lines. They put up a banner for when Michael shows up, and he says, "Check out banner, Michael." Like he just doesn't have a great time with the English language, and he's reading the word circumvent, and he doesn't know what it means, and he's like clearly never seen it before. He's like Sursum, and Michael's like it means to go around. He's like, yeah, the old reach around. So he like walks around his mother later in the episode. He's like, excuse me, I'll just circumvent you. So, lightning may have done some light circumvention, but it's especially like if you're from Boston, there was a thing called the Mark Savard rule before, like, Mark Savard unfortunately had his career ended by concussions, and they were like, let's not call anything the Mark Savard rule. The people are going to think it's about other stuff, but it was the Bruins were very in on let's circumvent the cap. So anyway, when people, especially Bruins fans, cry about the Lightning,
Listen, we know you're talking about Mike from Woburn.
Mike from Woburn is in that camp, but I like being able to have the argument with him. But it's not just Mike. Mike at least is like fully in on it, but I think that like, oh, the Lightning cheated is like this kind of like throwaway thing, and unless you really want to take it to court the way Mike from Woburn has, I don't have much respect for the argument. So after like 40 minutes of me making fun of people complaining about the Lightning, my what's bugging you was the weather is bugging me, which is like the most vanilla take anyone's ever had in the history of anything.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Hawley, who I was on with, he was like, he was like, so you, Mr. No one's allowed to complain about the Lightning, is literally complaining about rain. And I was like, still, like, the Lightning don't depress me. The rain is
Also,
rain
I mean,
is
like,
depressing me right
if we're gonna talk about the weather and the Lightning,
now. Yeah.
it had to be like the worst week and a half on the books in the history of humanity for dogs, because you had the fireworks, which somehow became 4 days of fireworks because of the weather. Like, because it was raining, a lot of people like pushed their fireworks off of the 4th of July, and it became the 5th of July, and like some people apparently went to the 6th of the July or whatever. Fireworks for 4 straight days, and then like the 4 straight days after that was all thunder and lightning. It was the worst week in the history of Penny's life.
That's such a good call. Happy for Allie Raceman. Got her dog back. Did you follow that story at all?
I caught up on it after the fact.
That was a lot of get off the internet, DJ. That was like a put your phone away, stop getting mad at the internet. Because I saw Allie Raceman lost her dog, and she posts like, hey, I've lost my dog. If anyone has any information, please respond to me. Here's an email address you can post. It's not my personal email address, but like, here's an email address and here's a number you can call. Please, any information would be so appreciated. And then everybody proceeded to like comment like, oh, I hope your dog, like, I hope you find your dog and everything, which is obviously like well wishing, and that's good, but like, I feel like if somebody loses their dog and they post like, "Hey, please give me any information you can get," and then
The
they
only
get
responses you
4
want to
million
see.
response, you get 4 million alerts,
That's
and you're
true.
getting all these. And I saw she had to post like, "Hey, again, like that's not my personal email address, so please only email that if it's going to be about seeing the dog." Like, and I'm imagining this person like losing your dog must be like having a missing dog. Must be a horrible feeling. Fortunately, I've never had to experience it, but like I can't imagine. You probably can't sleep, and you're just getting like inundated with all of these like not useful, not helpful things that like initially you see like, oh, I got a comment. Oh no, it's not that.
Yeah, it's tough to get mad at anybody there too, because like it is like well intentioned.
Right. I guess it's just like frustration with the internet ecosystem, or like the social media ecosystem.
Yeah, and we talked about this a bit too with like the Pasternak thing, where it's like, please respect my privacy,
Oh,
and like
dude, yeah.
everybody was talking like, and I
people
get,
like rattled off like 35 posts about it.
Yeah,
and you're
and
like, I know that you mean well here, but like
it-
you do have to
you-
consider the please respect our privacy thing.
that includes like public discourse. Like,
Yeah.
you maybe don't like fire up a conversation on the internet about that.
yeah, like I don't think that they wanted that to be there. So I thought about that the other day.
Yeah, there was like some uncomfortable stuff with that.
But I think it's like it's well intentioned stuff
Right.
that again, like this is kind of everyone's first time on the internet, you know, like I get mad when people are like, if you the dude with sign thing about the emails, if you have like 10,000 unread emails, you're this. It's like, you don't know, there's no rules. We just
Right.
started doing this.
Yeah.
We have no idea
Yeah, and
how to use it.
And I think like over the past however many years, people are figuring out how to be better, kinder people, and like
Totally.
And I think that a lot of people who do have good intentions are just like going about it maybe in a way that is like has consequences that they're not considering.
Yeah, but glad Allie Raceman got her dog
Hell yeah.
back. Glad that's a good point though. Like thunder or fireworks followed by thunder for a week. That stinks. Do you think that there will at least be a footnote when the story is told of the 2020 pandemic? The fireworks element. Do you remember that part?
Yeah, there was just nonstop fireworks every day of the week for like 2 months.
Yeah, everybody just started doing fireworks. You guys remember? If listeners, any listeners who are older listeners who lived through the 2020 pandemic, if you remember that, shoot us a text at patreon.com.
The Buzzbox. We'll get to it.
The
We didn't forget about it.
Buzzbox. We might have forgotten.
Yeah,
about
we
it.
definitely forgot about it, but it's still there.
Yeah, the Patreon's still hopping. We're podcast depressed because of the rain, so we've probably forgotten to pump the Patreon. Not positive what we're gonna do for Friday, but
There's a lot of stuff that we could.
there's so much
discuss
stuff
on
coming
Friday.
out Friday proper.
Yeah,
but to do
that's
an episode for Friday.
I need more. Well, I guess now that movies are back in theaters, we might be able to see something on Thursday, but then we'd have to record late Thursday
Ooh, wait,
because there are a couple good movies coming out on Thursday that we
a
could
couple
possibly
of really good movies.
Yes.
Like we're two sequels of probably two of the most important films ever, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
And you guys know what they are, so we won't even need to get into
They need no introduction.
So now that it hasn't been introduced, did you know that the more classic of the two franchises to which we're referring is not Blumhouse? Did you know that?
I did not. I did know that because I remember we dedicated a full episode to that. I guess
to it not being Blumhouse?
No, but we dedicated an entire episode to that movie, and we were stunned to kind of find out that it wasn't Blumhouse. But I think that I forgot in the time since that it wasn't Blumhouse. Like, if you had put a gun to my head, I would have said that it was made by Blumhouse.
That would be tough. Someone went up to you and they were like, Escape Room, is it a Blumhouse movie or not? You'd be like,
That's the
well, I
escape
feel like
room.
the fact that you're asking that question suggests it's not Blumhouse, but shoot, I don't want to get this wrong. What did I see recently that was Blumhouse? Oh, I think I wasn't positive that The Purge was a Blumhouse movie.
It sure is.
That'd be a great game to play.
You know-
if we ever did like a live show, a great game to play, like bring someone up, Blumhouse or not Blumhouse.
That is a good game. I like that game.
Because like
Because Blumhouse has range.
Blumhouse has hella range, and
Get Out is a Blumhouse movie, right?
ooh, I don't know. If it is, then
I think that it might be.
that would be like, I'm trying to think of like,
Because I think that I remember like one of our earliest Blumhouse discussions was that they make like a bunch of these shitty movies so that they can fund a banger once every couple of years.
Blumhouse Productions. Wow.
Get Out?
Get Out.
Hell yeah.
We did see
wanna know
Get Out
You
as
want to know
well.
the easiest way to identify a Blumhouse movie?
The title card. That's a memorable one.
It is a very memorable title card, and it sort of feeds into my answer here. It's you go to see a Blumhouse movie, but you get there for the previews. Because if you get there for the previews of a Blumhouse movie, you're going to see a preview for like 6 Blumhouse movies.
Dude, the previews thing, I can't tell. I wish we weren't friends.
There's the cold open.
No, like, because we've spoken to each between like
Like, we have a shared brain now.
between doing a podcast and like texting each other, probably like, I don't know, like, we probably total like between 60 and 100 messages back and forth.
Yeah.
But, like, I forget what has been done for content and what's been done for like
Yeah.
speaking to a friend.
And I don't know if this like feeds into whatever argument that you're going to make here, but I feel like the dynamic of how we like discuss things has changed over the course of the podcast life, because we used to text all the time to like to come up with show ideas and to discuss things that like maybe we'll just talk about on the podcast. And I feel like now, over the past however many years, we don't text as much because like we're running out of stuff to like talk about on the podcast, and if we continuously text, we'll be like, "Yeah, as we discussed on text this week."
Shoot, I was saying I wish that we weren't friends because I can't remember if we discussed on the podcast or IRL. I know that we did it somewhere that the length of trailers has now expanded. It used to be generally
of like the preview slots.
Yeah, so you generally build in
trailers.
20 minutes. Correct.
right.
Yeah, my bad. You generally build in 20 minutes. And now it's like 24 to 26. And at that point, like, that's like past like NHL on NBC stuff where
it's
you know that like
preposterous.
they build in like a pregame and everything. Like that just means like, hey, it's going to start a little later than the time we put down. But like when you're starting damn near a half hour after the time you say this is when the movie starts, hey, we gotta have a talk. We gotta figure out some ground rules here because I was rushing to the Forever Purge. I was like, I'm gonna be late. This is terrible. I was Patty Harrison with the tables, just screaming in the car. Nobody knew what I was screaming about. And then I got there, and I was like, I could have like breaded the chicken tenders myself and made them. But it's not as bad as 2 out of 3 men experiencing some form of hair loss by the time they're 35, depending, as always, this isn't the copy, but I always make sure to put it in, depending on whether or not they want to experience hair loss. Like if they
may not be bad news.
if they're comfortable with, if they're like, hey, I like the bald look, then that's fine. But if you don't want to be experiencing hair loss, then I think you got to consider more than 50 million men in the U.S. suffer from male pattern baldness. So you might want to check up on yourself. Make sure that you're doing the things to prevent it, assuming you want hair.
Mhm.
If you want hair, you want Keeps. They offer a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair. There's a convenient virtual doctor consultation process, medications delivered straight to your door every 3 months. You don't have to leave your home. It's affordable. Treatments start at just $10 per month, and Keeps offers generic versions. The packaging, again, it's all about comfort. If you don't want people to know that you're using Keeps, then it's discreet, so that's okay. But if you want people to know you're using Keeps, you can go out and get this discreet packaging, pull a Kevin Hart in that commercial, yell at your neighbors, be like, hey, my Keeps is here.
It's up to you whether you want to keeps it a secret.
That's right. If you're ready to take action to prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/brunch to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's keeps.com/brunch to get your first month free. keeps.com/brunch.
So, let's get back to Escape Room having a sequel because that is like the most stunning development of all time.
They do you remember the end? It very much set up a sequel, and I think that we probably discussed. We were like, that was like pretty cocky setting up of a sequel
Yeah.
because the Belko experiment did the same thing,
Right.
and
Nothing came of that.
I'm quite sure that's never coming. I'd be surprised if that came.
And like it's never shocking when a movie like sets up a sequel, even if it's a pretty shitty movie, because I think that all of those movies do that.
Yeah.
And like we should know by now that you don't have to have a good movie to have a second
Right.
one of them. So I'm just more surprised that the Escape Room sequel has eluded my attention to this point, and the way that it's presenting itself. It's like Escape Room Tournament of Champions. Like it's not running it back. It's running it back with prestige,
Yeah. I mean,
which is crazy.
they I watched the trailer recently, and it seems similar to the first one, except it's like their reality is taken over by escape rooms. Like they're on the train or something, and they find out that, oh shoot, this is an escape room. All the people on this train are escape room people. We gotta escape this room. And I don't know, I'm looking forward to it. The first one was not particularly good. It was like
It was like a fine.
it was
Blumhouse
Blumhouse-ish.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was like a Blumhouse level movie. I remember the lead was good. It was pretty obvious that it was pretty obvious that it wasn't necessarily like a final girl thing, but like it was pretty clear this is the star of the movie.
Yeah.
This is the character we're supposed to like the most.
And this one's going to be alive.
She's
at the
probably
end.
going to
Yeah.
live through all this, and she did. So, not major surprises.
I'm just stunned by the fact that Escape Room is like this sequel is you know who we are. We're Escape Room.
Right.
And like you know who the champions are. You know who like are the legends of the game.
Yeah.
Now who's the champion of champions? And it's like, well, I don't even remember who was in the first movie.
Do you think that the third one, they'll do like a first escape room where they show the other members of Escape Room Tournament of Champions in their escape rooms? So it's the main girl. It's a dude who really didn't win. I wouldn't say he's a champion, but she
They
saved
got
his
out
life
together.
and like brought
Yeah.
him out. Again, like, did he win? Is he a champ? I would not say he's a
Yeah.
champion. I don't think his name's on the cup.
Right.
But I'd like to see, like, say it's the main girl that the stiff that she carried, and it's like someone named like Chris and someone named Jennifer. Maybe the next one will be like Jennifer's original escape room.
Well, I assume that there's going to be a lot of flashbacks in this one. Like there'll be
Oh.
champions that they'll be like, this is how this person won.
yeah,
I think that the story is probably going to be extremely light,
yeah,
and they're just going to spend like a bunch of the movie going back in time, showing how these people got there, and then also doing the present day tournament stuff.
Do you remember what all of this escape room contestants in Escape Room 1, Escape the Room, had in common? There was one thing that tied them all together.
Was it a medical thing? It was like a
Somewhat.
insurance type deal.
No, you're thinking of Saw,
Saw, probably.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all lone survivors.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And like some of it was sad. Like the Jay Ellis's character was like lost at sea with one of his buddies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And like that was like dark. I think he like killed his friend to
Yeah.
stay alive, but like the main character like died in a was in a plane crash with her mom, and like her mom died. And I'm like, why? She doesn't have to be. She didn't do anything
Right,
wrong. Why are you
yeah.
putting her in this thing where she might die?
It was definitely like torturing like undeserving people. Wasn't one of them in like the military too?
Yeah.
That was a weird premise for like, hey, let's do a Saw thing, but like half of these people don't deserve to be here.
Yeah. What did the
One of them had like it was a coat. There was like storyline about a coat.
that I believe was that Jay Ellis?
Yeah, where it's
they,
like one of them had to wear the coat.
yeah. There was one coat, and I think it was like a classic Titanic situation. Like he took the coat.
Mm-hmm.
Rose famously takes the coat and then throws it in the ocean years later.
And 84 years, and she throws the
then-
coat overboard.
Yeah, and then a guy digs it up, brings it to Brittany, and she's like, I thought the old lady dropped it in the ocean at the end. People forget the Oops, I Did It Again music video has strong Titanic allusions. Remember? She says, I thought the lady dropped in the ocean. What does he say?
Went down and got it for you.
Well, babe. I wish that she stopped him right there. I was like,
Mhm.
excuse me. I'm not your babe. He says, well, babe, I went down and got it for you. And I believe she says, you shouldn't have. Oops, That's the real, like,
That is
apex.
incredible.
Yeah.
The apex of the 90s.
Yeah.
Was that even the 90s? Like early 2000s?
Oops, I Did It Again might have been, like, 2000-ish.
The 90s went to until like 2002.
You should watch, that's true. Like, I always say that there's like 18 top 10 players in the NBA because all anyone wants to talk about is like,
Yeah.
hey, is Giannis a top 10? Bad example. Giannis is a top 10 player. People be
But
like,
you could
hey, is like Book? Is he a top 10 player? It's like,
you
everyone's
could
a top
make
10 player.
like 1,000 top 10 lists and like none of them would be wrong.
Yeah,
because
they're-
there's so many players that like are in that tier.
There's so that's exactly it. You tier the players like good, pretty good, great, and then top 10, and there's like 21 players in top 10. Shoot, now I'm thinking about Team USA basketball. Now that we're talking about Book, because they could use him. You following any of this Team USA basketball stuff?
I'm following that they're not doing so hot.
Unbelievable. I didn't get. They lost to Nigeria, and everyone's like, they lost to Nigeria. Oh, and I was like, I don't care. It's a exhibition game.
Right.
Who cares?
Then they lost to Australia. and
Then
you're like,
last night they lost to Australia, and it's like, you can lose
you
an
can have one
exhibition
stinker,
game
yeah.
and be like, it's an exhibition game. Who cares? We weren't trying. We have Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum. Like, we are quite all right. But then you just have to go out and like try a little bit and win the next
Right.
exhibition game.
You're allowed one wake-up call.
Yeah, right, exactly. And they, boy oh boy, lost to Australia too. So now I'm following. Now I'm watching those games, watching Pop, who is so mean. A bit. I thought about opening this on a why you got to be so rude to Greg Popovich. Did you see him with the reporter?
I mean, that's always been his thing.
I've never enjoyed that.
It's one thing if it's like if you're sparring with like a David Aldridge,
Yeah.
where it's like, hey, he knows what he's getting into and he can give it right back to you.
Right.
But or like Craig Sager was a good example because like they had some like very fun,
Yeah.
and it didn't seem mean spirited. It seems like Greg Popovich is like giving people a hard time for the sake of giving them a hard time when they're not like in on it.
Right. So the person asked basically, they were like, in years past, you'd have these blowouts, and he was like, well, you say blowout, but if you look at this, and this, there weren't blowouts, so I don't know where you're getting that from. And the reporter is like, oh, what I meant was like in exhibition games, and he was like, excuse me, I'm talking. And he's like, yeah, well, you just said it, you didn't know what I was saying, so figured I would explain it. He's like, are you gonna let me talk? And it's like, just let him say. Yes, he interrupted, but like he's furthering this conversation. So I'm pleasantly surprised that a lot of times when someone's like rude to a reporter,
Penny,
lady,
come on.
Pen lady, come here.
Penny, come here.
Penny,
come here. Come here. Come here.
A lot of times when like someone's rude to a reporter, it's like, yeah, ooh, make them squirm.
Yeah.
It's like, you're just kind of being mean and like embarrassing that person. You're Greg Popovich and super
Right.
famous, and everyone loves you, and like,
This person's probably like nervous to interview you.
yeah, like just kind of be nice to each other. I got to be mean to Dave season 2 for a second because it's been like my Twitter punchline of late. Whenever something's bad, I'm like, "Phew, is this season 2 of Dave on FXX? Because this stinks." But we haven't actually talked about it. The season 1 was like solid, pleasant surprise. Everyone got behind it. It was like everyone's pandemic watch. Season 2 really, really stinks. It's like a very bad show.
It's bad, yeah.
Have you done a couple episodes?
I've done 3 episodes, I believe, and none of them have been good, and I don't know if I'm going to continue.
I'm continuing because like it's bad, and I'm
You're like invested in
it made me check out. I went back and watched like a random season 1 episode. I was like, season 1 was okay, right? Was I just dreaming? And it was okay. Like season 1 was solid, but season 2, oi oi oi, don't know what's going on there. I think I'll stick to Prison Break for now. They're out. They got out.
Ooh.
They got out.
I hate to tell you, but it
Yeah.
only goes down from here.
I was told to stop watching after season 1.
Yeah.
And I'm like midway through season 2, and there's just a lot of storylines that I'm just like accepting. I don't understand what that is, and I don't care about this. Like, unless you are showing the brothers,
Mhm.
unless you are showing any of the escaped convicts, or Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
Veronica is, spoilers, Veronica is resting in peace. They got rid of her right quick. But unless it's showing those people, like, they brought in William Fichtner.
Mm-hmm. So I was right. He was in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did you?
remember I said that last week? I was like, wasn't William Fichtner in it?
Oh, I probably said no because I was watching season 1.
Yeah, right.
So season 2, they bring in William Fichtner and Kim Coates, who are like the same.
okay.
They look very different, but like for all intents and purposes, they always do the same thing.
Yeah.
So that whole like,
Kim Coates rocks.
yeah, that whole like the company storyline.
Yeah, it just became too much. And like obviously I remember when I was watching it during season 1, I was like, what is this show going to be when they get out?
Right.
Like, because that's what this show is now. And you kind of saw the writing on the wall where it was like, oh, they're going to get like too crazy just to make sure that this show keeps going.
Right. Did you notice they changed the transitions once they get out of the once they
I
get
don't
so
remember the transitions.
the transitions are like very fast, like going through like the tunnels of the prison.
Okay.
So like it was a way to keep things feeling hectic. It was their version of like the 24 clock.
Mm-hmm.
Once they're out, they just like show like streets, and it's like really fast. It's like they're outside, they're moving really fast. It's okay. I'm watching it. I
think you're gonna lose interest at some point very soon.
I know I'm jumping off soon.
Yeah.
It's similar to Lost. I like Lost was this great show everybody liked. I watched it years after the fact. And after like season 3 or something, I was like, okay, all done.
Was there the scene outside of the motel yet?
With John Abruzzi?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, he's gone.
Yeah, okay. That's the last thing that I remember from that. That's not true. There's another big thing that comes up after that. That's the last thing that I remember from the show.
So John Abruzzi's gone. The kid, Tweener, is gone.
Okay.
Fichtner took care of him.
Okay.
And who else? I think everybody is still going. Man, Teabag, I want him out of the picture. What's his face is gone. The Kiri, the guard.
Okay. Yep.
The one that shakes people down.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that the other CO did it.
Okay. I don't remember those two, but
Yeah, Bellick or something. He was like
Bellick,
the main.
Bellick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bellick.
okay, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Where I left off, they arrested him. They charged him with Kiri, I think is his name's murder, and put him in Fox River. And I'm like, okay, we may have jumped the shark here.
yeah.
Because he went in and I forget the guy's name, but like one of like the feared inmates was his cellmate. I'm like, okay.
Classic.
Yeah, I'm like, this is jumped the shark. But overall, Prison Break, decent watching experience. Was asked this recently, and it was by myself because I realized this. If you could have one article of clothing be new every day, what would it be?
Clothing. Do sneakers count?
Sure. New pair of sneaks every day. I don't know if you can keep them though. It's like they vanish at the end of the day.
So they don't just like become like new.
Right, like you're not like
It's a
loading
rotating.
up. Yeah, you're not like loading up your wardrobe or anything. So like, say you choose a T-shirt, it's like every day you can put on a fresh T-shirt.
But like, is it the same T-shirt?
No,
It's just like it's a randomized T-shirt, but it's new every day.
you want a new blazer every day, then it'll be a different blazer every day, and it'll look good. It'll be comfortable.
I think I would say sneakers still.
Ooh, that's good. I mean, if every time someone saw you,
You had a
were wearing
different pair of
brand
sneakers
new, like nice sneakers.
And like at some point, it wouldn't even matter if they were like cool or
Yeah.
nice, because like if you're a guy that has that many sneakers, people think that you're like a sneaker aficionado,
Oh,
and that
true.
like if they don't like it, they're questioning themselves. They're like,
Yeah,
fuck, why are these cool?
He's
This guy
got-
clearly knows that these are cool.
yeah. He's got the Timberland like slippers or Timberland sandals. I'm pretty sure I had those at some point. Yikes.
What's the most embarrassing pair of sneakers that you've ever owned?
I'll be honest. I'm not the type to be embarrassed
Yeah,
by
that's true.
sneakers.
Or like, what's like the most?
I mean, these ones. So these ones I wear. I'll if I ever just like am running out, I'll wear these. And these are like, these have to be like 4-year-old New Balance running shoes. And I've gotten new running shoes a million times. I've replaced them for whatever reason. These sneakers have never been thrown out. So these are the most like, dude, get rid of those sneakers I own. But I don't think I own. You know what? I owned some. I owned some Chucks that had like piping on them. They were like Dan Flash's
Oh boy.
Chucks. They were very loud. They're probably stupid in hindsight, and I didn't wear them much.
Okay. I think I had a couple East Bay magazine specials.
Oh, okay.
I had like the Spinners.
Oh, Spreewells.
Yeah, were they Spree? I think they might have been like off-brand Spreewells. That
Well,
like,
so Spreewells, I think they were shoes they called Spreewells because for whatever reason, spinning rims were associated with Latrell Sprewell.
okay, so I think he might have worn them or something.
Let me
for
see.
his sneaker. I had a pair of those, and then I also had a pair of the. I think they were called Lugs.
Oh yeah.
Lugs driving shoes. I think what was it Funkmaster Flex
Okay.
used to advertise those. I had a pair of those. Those were like sort of those were like low rise Tims. And they were branded as driving shoes.
Wow.
I had
Okay.
a pair of those.
Spreewell sneakers had spinning rims on them.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Every time you take a step, they spin. And maybe I had a pair of those. I thought that they were East Bay specials, like off-brand, but
I'm
I
sure
could
that
have been wrong.
people like jumped in on that trend. I mean, I definitely had the And One slippers. Did you?
No.
Really? Were
Yeah.
they did you think they were stupid by the time you heard of them, or
I
were
don't
like
even know
people?
if I like what like the
They were
slides?
like a big craze. They
were
were
slides or they
no,
slippers?
they were high top,
Oh, I
like
definitely didn't
slip
no,
on,
definitely
like
didn't have them.
one piece.
I
And
don't think that I
ones.
had these.
Let me see. And One. I remember everybody had these.
No, for me back in the day, like the big sneaker crazes were the T-Mac 1s and T-Mac 2s. I think the T-Mac 2s were like the hottest shit ever with the three stripes, the three blue stripes
yep.
that came down. Then there was like the Iverson 4s or something that had the little zipper on the side. I had those. Other than that, I had a pair of Starburys, and Starburys were like
Oh, yeah, I may
pretty
have.
sick, dude. Like they were nice shoes for $13,
Yeah.
or whatever it was. Those things were pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really cool what he did. I definitely had the Shacks. Did you have those?
Yeah, I had a pair of those.
And you could tell they were Shacks
Got 'em at
because
Payless.
yeah, they said Shack
Yeah, and they
right
had
on the side of the
the
shoe.
big dunking logo.
Yeah. I mean, and that you think about it, pretty close to infringing on like the Jumpman
Yeah,
thing.
I think that was the point, though. Like,
Yeah, they were like, this is the Payless version.
yeah,
Although I don't think that Shaq is necessarily the Payless version of Michael Jordan.
like honestly, no, definitely not. Like Shaq deserved better than like the Shaq Payless shoes. But
But maybe he wanted
Shaq-
to do like the
but Shaq-
Starberry thing.
if we know anything about Shaq, it's that he never turns down a deal.
I mean, the man works with the general.
Yeah, right.
That is absolutely incredible to me. I forgot this Prison Break update. Teabag drops a Yo Mama joke at some point
Ooh.
when the two COs are interrogating him to find out where the money is. He says, "I spent a bit of it last night on Yo Mama," and like it's weird that show goes in and out of like being like
In on the
smart
joke.
and like in on the joke and getting it. Like I think there's a scene where, unless I misread it, the brother, the one that got accused
Lincoln?
of Lincoln and LJ are walking, and he was like, "Hey, saw you checking out those girls back there," and he was like, "No, I was just seeing if they like were staring at us," and he was like, "They can't stare with their ass, buddy." And he was like, "Oh, okay, got me and everything." He was like, "Hey, so like, how long have you known that you liked girls?" And I was like, "That's pretty progressive."
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then like 2 scenes later, there's like a pretty homophobic line. They're like not where like a character is being homophobic, where like the show is kind of being
Yeah.
homophobic. And I was like, all right, well,
Yin and yang, baby.
yeah, I
Gotta
was
give one to get one.
back then, perhaps in those shows. I didn't give my answer on the if you could have one article of clothing be new every day. It's pretty close to yours. I'm going more for comfort than you are. You probably have the smarter answer. There's nothing like new socks.
Oh man, what a weird choice.
It's a super weird choice, but I got some new socks recently, and I'm like, damn, if it weren't wasteful, like, I'm not going to say I will do this, but like for now, knock on wood, I could swing buying like a new pair of socks every, I don't know, like 10 days. How many pairs come in a thing of socks?
6.
All right, every 6 days, just like buy a new thing of socks and I'm not doing this, and like just like throw them away when you're done at the end.
You should do the old Allen Iverson.
Oh right, he would like do like entire fits and then just like leave them at the hotel, right?
Not even entire fits, entire wardrobes. He would go to a city, not pack luggage, arrive at the city, have somebody buy him an entire wardrobe for like 2 to 3 days, and then leave it at the hotel.
That's incredible.
It's insane, but such a baller move.
That's incredible. On the subject of Iverson, rough week for him. He might be getting pushed down the press conference power rankings.
Oh yeah.
I think Nikita Kucherov. We were saying after we did a show Friday, we were like, man, we should have just came in every block with the Kucherov press conference and then just talked about whatever we wanted for 5 minutes, then show it again, talk about whatever we want.
I think my favorite part of the Kucherov press conference is that he was not provoked at all. Like he came in so hot and ready to rant. Like usually you see when that happens, a guy's had a few and he's like trying to hold it together, and then like it'll go off the rails and he'll just be like, fuck it, whatever, we're here.
Yeah.
And Kucherov walked into the room and was like, all right, I'm gonna trash this hotel room.
So that's my second favorite part of it. My favorite part of it is that this was on a Zoom thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many people were actually present for that. So like you got to remember, he's kind of sitting in a room by himself, just like looking at a computer screen doing that. And come on. Come on. Is like the most drunk thing you can do. Do some like rant to yourself and then follow it up with like 13,
come on.
Like, come on. With like breaths in between. It was fantastic. I didn't root for the Lightning at all. Again, I thought that people complaining about the Lightning were a little much, but
there was nobody to root for.
Right. I love the Lightning now. They're so entertaining. I love it. They're rocking the shirts that say $18 million over the cap, that they're goofing off. I love it. But
I like that this year, like last year when they were doing all the parade stuff or whatever during the pandemic, it felt weird, and I was like, this feels tone deaf and like stupid, and it's just like I know that they want to celebrate or whatever, and that they deserve to celebrate, but like you just played an entire playoff run in the fucking bubble,
right?
And then now it's nice that like it feels normal to have a parade and have these dudes just be like drunk assholes,
right? But even the rain got them. You see that?
Yeah, but like they didn't care.
Who was sliding across the stage on like a little like
the cart?
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's like a cart, like a guy like slid across the stage in the cart, and everybody like went nuts, like he was doing like a magic trick, and I was like, it has wheels on it, like,
right?
So that's exciting. This is a rough timed week episode, summer, because we have so much stuff coming out. Houndmouth also has new music on the way. So
John Mayer, Sob
John
Rock.
Mayer, the rest of Sob Rock is coming. So
I believe the Big Red Machine album comes out on Friday as well.
Ooh, interesting.
There's a lot of stuff.
All right, so
we didn't even mention Space Jorm.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do like, should we do like a stream Friday, or should we just like record the Friday episode Friday, or what?
Yeah, I was wondering if we should do it like via stream. We haven't done a stream in a while.
We could watch Space Jam in the morning because it's on HBO Max, and then do something after. Maybe.
Is it one of those HBO Max deals though, where like you have to pay for it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'd be really upset if that were the case. But
I'm down to see like Escape Room on Thursday night, and then like Space Jam on Friday morning.
then bang out an app.
Yeah.
All right, Friday. Patreon.com/listen to brunch. We'll see you there, babes.